It is the Brilliant Show. I am Scotty Brilliant. We got my main man, Flow Rider, John Hassinger, aka Flow Rider.
Like Florida.
Yeah,
Haha.
yeah.
Hey, we don't have Amtrak down here in Florida. That's only up in Philly, right?
Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Okay, well, I don't know. You've been quite a busy little bee up there.
Well, I'm enough to know about a huge catastrophe that happened the next town over.
Yeah, see, like I don't know the level of it. It's just because on Facebook, Philadelphia, it just pops up for suggested shit I might like. So I don't know, like what happened?
It made I mean it's national news like that the
Sure.
night that it happened. It was on Nightline. They had a special coverage. They had whatever his name is, the
Nightline.
yeah, the one guy was like, it looked like he was like broadcasting from the top of a building in Philly, because you know how they put like the anchors when they're live on location, especially like a show like Nightline, like a national show. They're not just standing on the sidewalk with a microphone like a lot of the local news reporters. They're actually like sitting somewhere. And this guy, it looked like he was on the top of a building, like right in the middle of Philly. I couldn't figure out where he was
And he
broadcasting
was
from.
sitting down, like on the ground, on the
No, well, you
roof
just saw.
floor,
Did you ever watch Nightline? And they sit like they're
like in
comic.
chairs.
Yeah, they like sit at a desk. Well, he was like sitting somewhere, but you just saw like it's the guy.
Oh,
It's the guy. I forget his name. He's got really bad hair. I noticed. Like his hair.
Gary Papa.
No, Gary Papa's not alive anymore.
Oh,
He's like a young guy. He's got dark hair, but it like comes flat. Like the back of his head is flat. I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't know. You know if I.
But it's bad. The
But
Amtrak.
anyway,
Like, is
yeah.
the whole train like not working now?
Well, I mean, the whole line just derailed. Line 188 just went.
Oh,
Supposedly they ran around a curve, and the train was going like 102 miles per hour. When around that curve, it's only supposed to go like 50 miles per hour or something, and
Oh.
just totally just flew right off the track. I think it was like 7 cars or something like that. And
Oh.
8 people have died so far. I believe eight is the count.
Yeah.
And they're still looking for, I think, some people. Maybe they found all of them, but I mean, it's not like these people just went missing in like the great, fields of Philadelphia. I mean, obviously, if they're missing, they're probably unfortunately dead somewhere. Like
You
underneath
think
a
they're
car.
like hamburger meat. Like they're just grind. They got like chopped up into nothing under the train.
Well, no, I don't think anybody. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know too much about like the specifics, but I don't think anybody
The
like
details.
details. Yeah, I don't think anybody like flew out and got like run over. I think they probably died because I mean they flew off a track, so like the train like jolted one way and then landed the other way. So the force of that is enough to throw you and break your neck. I mean, if you get
Bludgeon,
thrown
yeah.
from one side to another, I mean that's a broken neck. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just
Wow.
horrible.
Wow.
I was
Wow.
actually at a concert. I went and saw a concert, and I didn't know that it happened. And I came back. I mean, the show I saw was only like a half hour away. When I came back, I turned on the news, and it was like all over.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because I'm down here, it wasn't like as big as it was up there.
Well, the only I guess if there is anything that's redeeming about it is the fact that when you turn on the news for the past couple nights, that takes up the entire 11 o'clock news. That.
Yeah, it's the only story.
Yeah, so there's not like you
Yeah.
don't hear about the 20 murders in Philly and Camden.
No.
It's like they just focus on this tragedy. But
Amtrak.
yeah, pretty crazy, man. And the conductor. Guess how old the engineer was that was driving the plane, or not driving the plane,
97.
driving the train.
98 years old.
No, that'd be funny though.
16.
Close.
How old?
He was 32. But you think that sounds kind of young to be in charge, to be a main engineer of a train, don't you think? When you think of like, I don't know, I still think of 32. It's our age as being like young, and when you think of like a train conductor, I always think of some old guy in a conductor's hat that's like in his 50s.
I picture kind of someone who's doesn't really have to be that bright. Like maybe he's a good guy, he's a good, conductor with the hat, but he's kind of a dum-dum.
Well, really, I mean, it's not like you're flying a plane here. You have to you have one main task, and that's to not let the train go off the tracks. So
Right,
that means,
and they're hooked in. It's almost impossible to get them off the track.
yeah, it means like don't hit your nitrous booster or whatever you've installed in the train to make it go 102 miles per hour around a curve. What do you think, you're Mario Andretti? I mean,
What
like,
is
seriously.
he, Doc Brown? He added things to the train?
No, I'm just making that up, but
No, I think he did.
he probably did. People that probably listen to our show, like I realized today, I was telling my mom because I'm in Jersey right now. Help my dad. He just got knee surgery. But I was telling my mom we were out there barbecuing, and I feel like I know nothing about nothing. Like Natalie knows like a lot about. She like knows like history. She knows a lot about U.S. history and like even like European history. And like I watch Jeopardy, and I'm like I know nothing about nothing. So you ask me these questions, and like sometimes I'll know something about something. Most of the time, I know nothing about nothing. And you seem like you're kind of on the same lines of knowing some things about something and nothing about nothing. So when we talk, it probably is just total nonsense. Right?
No way, man. I keep my finger on the pulse of this world. I keep an eye on everything. I'm making sure shit is running smoothly. Like this Boston bomber.
God help us.
They gave him the death penalty.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about that. They should hang him at high noon in the middle of Boston.
But yeah, I mean, you know what? This whole thing is kind of astonishing to me, because what makes one murderer more what makes I can't think of the wording here. Okay, if you kill,
what makes the punishment like worse?
Yeah, like if you kill someone, doesn't matter how you do it. Why doesn't everybody just get the death penalty? I mean, the guy set off a bomb to harm numerous people, but how come there's people that kill that kill 2 or 3 people and don't get the death penalty? Like why? Because it was so premeditated. That's why.
Because it was an act
of terrorism.
Terrorize. Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? Why can't there just be a mandatory death penalty? And we've talked about this a lot. Like, I feel like an eye for an eye. Like, if you kill someone, you have a mandatory death sentence. Get rid of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, why make it like an option where like, oh, I could take this person's life and I'll stay alive? Mm-hmm. Like, no, that shouldn't be like, they shouldn't be able to think that. They should only think, if I get caught, I'm going to die.
Yes.
Trying to kill someone.
Yes.
Then there would be less murders. At least even a little tiny bit, it would still be less.
Yeah.
No matter what. You convicted of murder, you're dead.
I agree. I definitely agree. I mean, I think
tar, feather, high noon hanging.
Yes. They should bring
high noon.
Well,
we should bring that back.
They should, because
rain or shine.
I don't understand. Okay, now I know if you kill someone truly in self-defense, okay, then you'll prove that. But if you kill someone just to kill someone, sorry,
you're guilty.
You do not need to be on this earth anymore.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not self-defense or temporary insanity, then no.
Yes, I agree.
You're dead. You're done. That's why we should rule the world. We should be king.
Imagine how
kings
chaos would be in this world if we ruled it.
I know. It's like I heard one of my friends was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm at this show and tell with my daughter, and you can either be show and tell or what I want to be when I grow up." And this one kid was like, "I want to be president," and my friends like, all I thought was, who the hell would ever want to be president?
Exactly.
Now. Who would want to run anything?
No, not at all. Never.
So bad.
You know what? I would like to be president back in like the day. You know what? I don't even say I'd like to be president, but I mean like back in the early days when you rode around on horses and you just like went to war like with bayonets and stuff. Maybe it was like fun. It was almost like a game. Like what?
Like the John Adams, like Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah,
days.
like what did you have to really do? I mean, you didn't have like so much weird stuff you had to look after. It was basically just like don't let your country get attacked. And
the population was like so much smaller. It was like, all right, we only have to satisfy a small amount of people here. Like we can make sure all these people get along. Now, what is it, like 7 billion, or I don't know how many people are in this country, but it's just way too many.
Well, and you're worrying about so much, from like legalizing gay marriage to not getting attacked by terrorists that are forming in our country. Like,
Yo,
come on, much simpler back then. I mean, what was
Chris Fried's one of his favorite comedians, Bill Burr. He was like, I don't know why gays are fighting for this marriage thing. Because all of a sudden we're gonna have 1 million gay divorces. They're all like, yeah, we want to fight for this. No, you don't. You don't. This is not good.
Yeah.
we spend and waste so much time on the dumbest topics.
Well, I wish they banned regular marriage, because then it would prevent, a lot of people from wasting a lot of money getting married and divorcing.
Wow.
Very pessimistic, though, but,
Dude, that is definitely an interesting. Marriage is illegal.
Yeah.
What if, like, someone should do a movie where they travel to the future, and in that future, marriage is illegal.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Maybe
what would it be like?
Maybe you should call up M. Night Shyamalan and
and then he'd throw a twist at the end, where you also get to
where everybody's
plan
really
your
married.
own funeral.
Everybody's secretly married, and
yeah, right.
At the end.
Yeah, he married them when people weren't looking.
You know what? I actually liked some of his movies. I mean, everybody knocks him.
I know.
I thought Signs was good. I even thought Unbreakable was good. I thought
I liked both of them. Yeah.
I liked The Village, or whatever the heck it was.
Oh, that was so dumb.
I thought that was pretty cool.
So dumb. It was like a fake village. They were really like in the present.
Yeah, and they were like, they hit out the woods.
Yeah.
What was it called? It was called The Woods, or
The Village.
The Village. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my brother loved that one. I was
cool.
like, oh god, it was stupid. And then Lady in the Water.
Oh yeah, that one was kind of hokey.
We saw that together in the theater.
We did, didn't we? Was it
in the State College Cinema?
It was you, me, and Mike, right?
No, it was you, myself, Jess, and Kristen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember Jess Bilski and Kristen Orquist?
I do.
Remember those chicks?
I do. They were your TGIF. I did.
Yes!
Cohorts.
I think they listen. I'm pretty sure they do.
Do they listen? I don't know. I'm friends with Kristen, I think, on Facebook, but I don't think Jess. Is Jess on Facebook?
I don't know. Jess is like a shadow. Every once in a while, she's there, and then she disappears.
I forgot about her. I remember Kristen. I forgot about Jess, though.
They were fun as hell. Her brother, we had her brother on the John and Agnew show. He's a comedian. He's like Chris Fried, like he's a comedian, but he's not like a famous comedian yet.
Yeah. Where is he? Out of what? Out of where?
In Philly.
Oh, really? What, Kristen's brother? Or
No, Jess. Jess's brother.
Huh.
Jared Bilski.
Nice.
Yeah. How's he doing?
Who?
Chris Fried.
We got to get him back on. I mean, it's not even talk about it anymore, because we keep on mentioning things that don't ever happen.
No.
Speaking of it, John, you texted me and you said, what topics do you want to talk about tonight? And I had a couple. I remember. Okay, this was like last week, and I was sitting with Natalie, and I was either watching something on TV or we were discussing something, and I was like, and I got really fired up, and I was like, I want to talk about this on the show, and I forgot what it was. And if I don't write, I should start writing things down like I used to when I worked on the radio. When I worked on the radio.
You would write things down?
I would jot things down. If I had an idea, I would write. I mean, that was before, like back when I worked at Quick Rock, I would write things down. Now, with the smartphone, I would just plug it into my phone. I'd go to like one of the note things in my phone.
Notes.
So,
notes from the iPhone.
I should just do that. Like, why don't I just do that? Because it would actually, it was actually something that I thought was pretty cool to talk about. But
I remember whenever I was on the radio, I felt like anything that I was doing, I could possibly talk about on the radio. Even if it was helping Mike make his open-faced tuna melts with cheese and mayo at 4 a.m, I was like, maybe I could talk about this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, just constantly, every single thing that I was doing, I'm like, oh, I could talk about this on the show and make fun of how I shower. Like, what do you wash first when you get in the shower?
Yeah.
Do you balls? Do you go to your ass, chest, pits?
That's actually a pretty good question, because I think I was actually had this dilemma the other night where I was taking a shower and Nat was in the bathroom like brushing her teeth and stuff. And did you ever like wash your hair and then 3 seconds later you forgot if you washed your hair? And not that it's bad to wash your hair twice, but I was like trying to think, did I do this already? And I was retracing my steps in the shower to think if I actually washed my hair or not, because something that you're so used to doing day in and day out, you forget that you're actually doing it and you're just going through the motions. And I don't remember whether I actually did wash my hair or not. So I just washed it again for the hell of it.
It's like when you have the same drive home from work, and when you pull into your driveway or whatever, you're like, did I even stop at a red light? Like, did I follow the laws of the road?
Yeah, you don't even think about it.
You check out and you just kind of like, da, 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 da. Your head's like completely somewhere else.
Yes.
No, I don't know if that's ever happened to me in the shower where because I get in there and I do the shampoo, it's good scrub, and then I rinse it out. Then I put in the condish and then I soap up the body, but I always forget where I go first with the soap.
Oh, I
think it's balls.
Yeah, it's not really a big deal to me.
I think it's Grundlesack.
Yeah, really? You go for that first?
Yeah, the taint.
Yeah, I usually go for like the 3 hot spots, the down there, the between the butt cheeks and then the armpits. Got to get the 3 smelliest spots taken care of first.
Testicles, wallet, and watch.
Yeah.
Oh man! So you wanted to talk about music, right?
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? So I'm actually a little distracted here. I got the David Letterman show on, but I got it on mute because now I haven't watched Letterman really since I was big on him in high school.
Me too.
Huge in middle school and high school, and then I became more of a Jimmy Kimmel fan. But now that Letterman's winding down his last like 5 shows, I think I'm like all into it now.
Did you see Stern and Don Rickles on there?
I fell asleep for Stern. I had it on, and I was trying to stay awake in my bed, and I woke up. Do you ever do that when you're like trying to watch something and you can't keep your eyes open, and then you fall asleep, and when you wake up, it's over, and you're like, son of a bitch. I mean, now I can watch it on the internet.
On YouTube.
Yeah. But
it's hilarious. Don Rickles comes out and him and Stern just kind of take over the show, and Letterman tries to like interject, and Don Rickles is so funny. He's just like, Dave, we're okay without you, and would just lean back to Stern and continue telling the story he was telling him. It's so funny, man. It was really good. Who does he have on tonight?
Well, now he's got who is it? Not Clooney.
Because
which should be good.
There was like a rumor that he wanted Jay Leno as his last guest.
Really?
And Stern was like, you are going to have Jay Leno as your last guest. I heard about this. And Dave's like, no, it's not going to happen. And Howard's like, was that your idea? Were you up to that? And Letterman was like, no, that wasn't me. And Howard stands up and starts yelling at the producers, like behind the cameras. He's like, who wanted Jay Leno? Who raised their hand? And this one woman raises her hand. She's like, I thought it was a good idea. And Stern's like, is he coming here? And she's like, no. And he's like, good. That's a terrible idea. I don't want that guy on the show. He hates Leno. It's
that's funny. Pretty fun. I wonder if that would be a funny last episode.
Yeah, that'd be really ironic. So who is the guest
Oprah
tonight?
Winfrey, which should be pretty good because
Oprah Winfrey.
It's been like an ongoing joke. But right now they
used to hate each other.
Well, he would make like he kept like a diary of how many times he's like there was each day I think he thought he was going to be asked on the Oprah Winfrey show, and he kept like a diary of that he wasn't asked to be on there. I don't know if he was ever asked to be a guest on her show or something, and he always wanted to or something like that.
And then there was that moment at the Oscars when he said like Uma.
Oh
and
yeah, I remember that. Well, now
it's like, come on.
Now he's got he's showing his like the crazy shit he used to do, like throwing like watermelons off the top of the building and smashing stuff. Like he used to be pretty crazy back in like the day, like in the 90s. Like just he would take his like computer chair and ride it down the street. Like
like
funny shit.
Johnny Carson like started it, but like Letterman like changed it.
Yeah.
and Fallon and Kimmel kind of like evolved it further.
Well, I don't think they do as many stunts. I think Letterman was more of a stunt guy. Like he did like just crazy stuff outside. Like he would go out in the crowd a lot. And I don't think um, what's his name, Fallon and Kimmel rarely do that. They send other people out, whereas Letterman would go out like on his own.
They have like the games that they do on the show with celebrities. One of the best was when Letterman would have like a little kid with an earpiece, and Letterman would be in like a van with a microphone and just tell the kid what to say to like complete strangers. Yeah. He'd walk up to old people and be like, "Can I finish that ice cream? You're gonna die anyway soon." Letterman's in the car. That was like as good as CBS would allow him to be, without crossing that network line.
Exactly. Well, he was good. I mean, I think he lost some of his pizzazz later on, but I mean, you get burnt out. You can only do the same thing over and over again.
Oh, I know. And he hated that top 10 thing, and the network wouldn't let him get rid of it.
Did he hate it? I know that he runs through it very quickly. He doesn't like it.
He hates it. Yeah, he thinks it's like hacky and stupid. And Stern was like, "Paul, all right, look, this is my last time on this show. It's probably the last time I'll ever see Dave Letterman." He's like, and I got to ask Paul Schaefer. He's like, "Paul, why? Why a different pair of sunglasses every single episode?" And Paul's like, "Oh, you wear sunglasses." And Howard's like, "I wear sunglasses to hide my hideous face." He's like, "You admit it." He's like, "You are baked out of your mind over there." It's pretty funny. Man. Stern's always good on Letterman.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that because I'm sure it's up online, but yeah, I definitely want to see that.
Yeah, I watched I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll catch it there
on the YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, are you watching any shows? Are you still not watching any TV?
Not really. I don't know. No. I just don't have the attention span. And we're still trying to catch up on the following, which Nat still calls our show. Let's watch our show tonight. And finally, the other night, I was like, I haven't paid attention to it since last season. Like, I put it on, and I get so easily distracted. I'll put it on, and then I'll do other stuff.
You're like not into it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't get into these shows anymore.
What are you doing? What are you getting distracted by?
I don't know. I'm looking on my iPad. I'm on my computer.
You're playing a game.
Not even playing a game.
Candy Crush.
I don't even know what I look at. I look at different websites. I read up on stuff, and it's just
Candy Crush.
Yeah, I play Candy Crush.
What kind of websites?
Farmville.
Sims.
Yeah. Well, I've been going to like the I like reading up on stuff that I feel like I want to do, but I just don't have enough momentum to do it. Like I like going to like the Forbes website or like Inc. Like looking at like people that have like started their own business and like they give you like top 5 things to create like a positive attitude. Like just different like tips and stuff. But it doesn't mean I ever implement them. I just like reading what other people have done.
I feel like maybe if you just keep reading them, this just by accident they'll start to implement.
Start to click. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I think it's just enough.
I have a picture of a sailboat and I have a painting of a sailboat in my house, and I just feel like if I stare at it enough, I'll have a sailboat.
Wait, is this the secret?
Yeah.
Secret? Remember that?
Oh yeah. Was that a movie and a book or just a book?
It wasn't like a movie, but it was like a bit
Lifetime
video for. Well, it wasn't a movie. It was just like the book on video. Like it was like a cheesy video to accompany the book.
Oh, like the author, like just kind of would read the book.
Yeah,
like an interview.
It had like pictures and like
Oh, well, hey, sometimes that shit works.
Well, I thought I don't like to read, so I thought if I watched the little video, then I just remember there was like a scene. There was a scene with like a kid and a bike, and it was like the kid imagined himself riding this red bike, and he wished for it. He wished for it, and like he made it happen or something. Like he like saved all his change that he got and bought it. So that's all the secret is. It's just like
manifestation.
Yes, you believe it enough.
Manifest the rest.
Yes, exactly. So,
well, what else?
I did want to talk about music because we did talk about
Yeah.
music a couple weeks ago with Chris, and something happened where I wasn't recording any of it. Remember?
Didn't get recorded.
Yeah.
It was a great conversation. And the funny thing is, the same thing happened to us on the John and Agnew show. We did a 90s show, and everybody had like a different topic of the 90s, like TV, music, pop culture. And Katie was music, and we had like a half-hour conversation about 90s music, and it was awesome, and it didn't get recorded.
Nothing. No.
Just like this. It's so bizarre. So are we recording now?
It looks like we are. Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like it.
Yeah, I was listening to, by the way, the old station that I used to work for that shall remain nameless, that flipped formats to alternative rock, now has DJs again. I think two of them are voice tracked.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and one guy is live or whatever, cheesy. But I've been trying to listen, because I want to hear them. And so I've had the station on just to, see what they sound like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to this alternative rock that the station is playing, and I'm like, this is the freaking worst. And I was having a conversation with somebody else the other day about, like, I went to a concert on Wednesday up at the Sherman Theater in Stroudsburg, my old stomping ground. I went and saw The Used and Chevelle. And Chevelle was a big band on our station.
Quick Rock played.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of fans of the Bone. Like, people recognized me, and they were like, Scotty, what? We don't even listen to the station anymore. I don't even turn on the radio now that the Bone is gone.
Yeah.
But I was talking to this one guy about alternative rock, and I was like, it's not. He's about our age, 32, 33, and I was like, alternative rock is. What is it the alternative to? Like alternative rock back in the day when alternative rock not first came about, but when it became popular with like Smashing Pumpkins, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, what else was considered alternative back in the, when Green Day, Offspring were kind of like, they broke through as like punk rock bands that were more alternative, more mainstream. And now it's just like, it's crap that they don't even use instruments. It's like, I don't know, Fun, and like Two Door Cinema Club, and it's like a dime a dozen with these bands, and they all sound so pansy-ish and like just so cheesy and watered down. And I'm like, what is going on here? I hope there's another wave of music that just wipes this crap out, because it's so crappy.
It's weird, man, because that's happening in the hip hop community. It's just very
watered down crap.
They have nothing to talk about anymore. It feels like it's just the same shit over and over. Yeah. I don't know. It's scary.
I just don't get it. And then you have like a band that I've been listening to, a hardcore band called Poison the Well. I used to listen to them when we lived together, but they haven't played a show together since 2009. And they just did a reunion show tonight in Brooklyn, and Natalie's sister's boyfriend is there. We listen to the same, heavy music, and he was texting me.
Oh, no way. Do you really?
Yeah, he was texting me like video from it, and he said the place is packed. And I'm thinking, wow, a lot of people are like me, and they want to hold on to the music that was good back in the day that they related to, that they liked, where like a band, Poison the Well, that you probably have never heard of, can still pack a place 6 years later on their one reunion show. They did they got together to play one show in Brooklyn, and it was tonight, and the place is packed, supposedly. So it's like, and they've never been on the radio or anything. So, I mean, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, what makes the music that they're playing on these alt rock stations, like, what makes it popular? Like, what makes anybody want to go out and buy an album? To me, nothing.
Nothing.
It's just crap. There's nothing good.
So what are you going to do about it?
I don't know. Revolt. like Airheads, just take over the station.
It's funny, because of social media, like, all these old bands can gain enough popularity and can reach enough people that they can kind of make a living again. There's this 90s tour, or back in the day tour, and it's like Vanilla Ice, Salt and Pepper, like not Run DMC, but somebody like them. It's all these like 90s acts that were almost like one-hit wonders, or have been kind of like gone for a while. They're all joining together, and because of social media, they can get enough people to, buy tickets.
Yeah.
It's cool. And, luckily for you, who doesn't like any of the new stuff, you can still find out where all your bands are and what they're doing.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's still.
You can always follow them.
It's true. That is very true. I mean,
like there was One Hit Wonders back in the day because you didn't know what they were doing. No one knew. Like, how the hell did you even find out when your band was coming to town?
I don't know.
Was it like in the mail?
I often think about that. I have no idea. We used to go to a lot of shows, like in high school at at the Philly venues, like Electric Factory and the Trocadero and the TLA, and I have no idea how I found out. It was almost like
maybe it would be on like the radio, like a commercial. Probably, I guess that's probably the main way you found out. It was on the radio.
You know what? I think the main way we found out.
We're giving away tickets.
It wasn't on the radio because they didn't play like a lot of the bands that we went and saw. I think the way we found out, we used to go to the CD store called Tunes. It was a local CD store, and it was great. And now I think, Tunes. They downsized a lot. Yeah, it was right in Marlton, one of the towns nearby, and it was just this CD store where you got like new CDs that you wouldn't be able to buy in Sam Goody or whatever, like punk and stuff. And they did well for a while. And then last time I was in there was like a couple years ago, and it was like a closet. Like they're not. I don't think they're making money anymore, obviously. But
it was like a store that
like one rack of CDs
in a zombie apocalypse. It's like it's just dusty.
Exactly.
Some things are broken.
One CD hanging. Dangling off the shelf. But
there's smashed CDs all over the floor. What the hell?
But there was flyers there. There was flyers like when you would walk out, like when you there was a counter and they had flyers, and I think that's how we found out a lot of the shows, because you pick up like a little flyer and it would have like 10 or 12 boxes, and in each box there was like a date, and it would show like a bunch of different band names and where they were at. And I think that's how we found out about a lot of this stuff.
And that's how you would go.
And to buy tickets, I remember waiting online at Ticketmaster in Boscov's to buy a damn ticket for a concert.
Ooh, I remember, you would have to go to like Sears,
like a department store, yeah.
Yep,
remember that?
I remember I got Dave Matthews tickets at like Sears.
Wait online.
I was like, is this really like how you do it? Like, I was like, my friends are like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
It's crazy.
Now it's just a picture on your phone.
Yeah, you don't even need a ticket anymore. You just put your credit card in and it goes right to your phone.
Nothing's physical.
It's crazy.
Save the planet.
But I don't know. Like, alternative. And you listen, one of your favorite bands is Red Hot Chili Peppers. They're alt rock. They're alternative rock. They're like the spokespeople for like late 90s alternative rock.
Yeah, they kind of like blended into a bunch of categories.
But you would turn on Y100 back in the day. You'd hear Chili Peppers. You'd hear Everclear. You'd hear Fuel. You'd hear like Gin Blossoms. You'd hear like Soul Asylum.
Bush.
Yeah.
Bush.
Bush. Bush.
So, you haven't seen Alan Thicke in the news recently, have you?
No, what's going on with him? Hopefully.
Wait, to jump back on the music thing real quick. So, I watched, you didn't see this Kurt Cobain, a montage of Heck on HBO documentary, did you?
No, I did not see that, no.
Did you, hear about it?
I heard about it, yeah. I wanted to see it, but I don't have any of those channels, so no, I didn't see it.
It's pretty intense. And it's funny because it was just like a 2-hour intervention episode. He's a happy-go-lucky kid. He's just always smiling. He's always just dancing around. And then all of a sudden you fast forward to the end, and he's this like, troubled genius, drug addict, just wasting away, just wanting to be dead. And you're like, well, what happened in the middle?
Yeah.
And of course, his dad like belittled him, like never like complimented him. So that's why he like rebelled so hardcore.
Huh.
And then it was like they used his music in a way, like, like the media used his music in a way that almost like labeled kids. And he was like, I don't want that. I don't want my music to do that. It's like the opposite of what I want.
Yeah.
But it was so popular, he just didn't have a choice.
Well, you know what? I don't know, man. Like, it seems like he went against the grain just to go against the grain. You know, like if he got stardom, he didn't want stardom. If he like, was at an interview, he didn't
Yeah.
want to be in an interview. If people thought his lyrics were meaningful, he wanted them to be meaningless. Like it seemed like he was like the anti everything that, people thought he was. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like that. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
like I'm just gonna be like
Mm.
anti cool. And I was a big
Yeah,
Nirvana fan. I was more of a Nirvana fan afterwards, like when I started
me too.
appreciating the music. I mean, I still think his lyrics are complete nonsense, and if you can find some sort of a meaning in his lyrics, then you're a better person than me. I think that he just strung a bunch of words together, kind of like Galvin Rossdale and Bush. Just makes no sense. It's kind of like
And
Anthony
Anthony
Kiedis. Yeah,
Kiedis.
Anthony Kiedis as well.
Bing a long
He doesn't, even-
ding a dong
he doesn't even
dong.
use words. He just uses sounds in most of his songs.
Yeah.
But I mean, with Kurt Cobain, like I think it's just a waste, man. I think like he became so popular because he was so anti everything. He was kind of like the rebel of that grunge era. You had like the Chris
Yeah.
Cornells and the Eddie Vedders. Who were kind of like out there, but Kurt Cobain
He
was like
was
the
like-
elusive
It was like
punk
a
rocker.
Jim Morrison almost.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, exactly like a
Yeah.
Jim Morrison.
Like, who really ever knew him?
Exactly.
Like, maybe no
And
one.
that's why people are so obsessed, I think, is because he was such an elusive, mysterious character.
Exactly. And, dude, the video, I mean, towards the end, he's sitting there with his baby, his, like, I don't know, not even a year-old baby, holding her. And he's nodding off. He's, like, nodding, like, passing out, holding the baby in his arms. And someone's videotaping him. And all of a sudden you hear Courtney Love in the background going, Kurt, wake up. Like, you're being videotaped. You don't want your daughter to watch this and see you like this. And he's like, what? I'm on drugs. And his eyes are like half open. He's like, I'm just tired.
He's all strung out.
Yeah, he's high as hell on heroin. He got majorly addicted to heroin.
Oh, I knew that.
And,
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, they just said there's warning signs everywhere, and everybody ignores them.
Well, weren't some of his problems too? I mean, I realized he was heavy into the opiates, but what didn't he have some sort of internal bleeding, which was like the cause? Like he had some ulcers, which was like the main cause supposedly of him wanting to kill himself. Was that he was always in discomfort with these ulcers or whatever that he had?
I don't know. I didn't.
I thought that was one of the things. I mean. Plus, he was married to Courtney Love. That's
Oh yeah. He did have. Hold on. Tormented by his addiction, his inexplicable but excruciating physical ailments. So, like, he all of a sudden was like, it was almost like he was like making himself
yeah.
sick.
I don't know. Like it was another strange thing because I didn't know if he had any like real condition or if he was
Inexplicable
Yeah.
physical ailments. That's bizarre. I don't know, man. When you kill yourself, it's like, jeez.
Wow, yeah, he was messed up. Plus, I mean, if you woke up next to Courtney Love every day, wouldn't you want to put a gun to your mouth?
Oh my God, she's so insane. But she actually like helped out making this documentary a lot. And dude, there's so much footage. Like, it's pretty amazing.
I want to see it. Like,
You should check
yeah,
it out.
I really want to see
And
it.
you got to be patient though, because the first like 19 minutes, all they're doing is talking about how he was just such a happy kid. I was like, yeah, I get it. He was a happy-go-lucky kid, and then some bad crap happened.
Yeah.
His dad was a dick. And his mom like idolized him, so it gave him like such a strange complex.
Yeah.
Like, I'm great, but I'm not good enough.
Well, I mean, like, it's like he's not the only one that has come from a family like that. So, and not everybody kills themselves. So, he definitely had some other demons that he didn't get to work out before the end of it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It sounds
The drugs.
The drugs, I think, obviously played a big
And
part.
heroin.
I think he just, I don't know. To me, it seems like he did it because it was the anti, like, thing to do. Like at the peak of your career, what's a better way? Not a better way, but what's a more anti way to go out than just kill yourself in the middle of, the height of your career? Do you know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, like, I mean, not to, no pun intended, like, go out with a bang.
Pun
Like,
intended there.
I'm so famous right now, and I fucking hate it. And you know what? It would be really cool if I just killed
Yeah, so I
myself.
feel like
I take myself away from this world, this poser world.
yeah, because I
Yeah, it's too
exactly.
cool for everything.
Yeah, but I mean,
Whatever, Kurt. I remember I used to make fun of people who listened to Nirvana.
I just didn't buy into it. I mean, when I was in middle school, when Nirvana was like popular, I just was like, what are people seeing this? And then,
No, like they look like depressed, like dorky nerds.
well,
They're flannel.
I got it real into the their Nevermind and Bleach. I thought those were awesome albums. I wasn't real big into In Utero. I liked Incesticide because I liked like Sliver and
Oh yeah,
Aneurysm. I thought those songs were like real good. I think Polly might. I don't know, but Polly was on Nevermind, I think. But anyway, I like there were some albums I like better than the others, and the music wasn't good. I mean, if you listen to it, it's just very raw. Like his guitars didn't sound in tune, like on the first on Bleach. It just sounded like
Oh really?
it just sounded like very like garage bandish. But I mean, I think that's what made him so
That's
popular.
what they
Yeah,
were.
because
That's what it was. It was different. It was an alternative to regular
there
rock.
you go, alternative to regular rock, and that's what it was back then. Now, when you compare alternative back in the day, I guess this sums up our conversation about alternative rock. When you think about Nirvana as alternative back in the day, and then you think about I don't know, Passion Pit, or I can't even think of any of the names of the bands out today. And it's like,
You know what it is, dude? It's like, okay, that was alternative because it was new. It was like a new sound. Now there's all these bands that just sound like them, so they're called alternative rock. It like created a genre, but it's not alternative because they've been mimicking it now for like 25 years.
exactly. But it's not even the same.
There's
It's
they need to come up with something new, and then that will be the alternative rock.
the alternative to alternative rock, which would
Yeah,
be the mainstream,
alternative square.
which would be the mainstream, and that's what alt rock has turned into, mainstream rock. I mean, but whatever. So, what do you got going this weekend? Anything exciting?
I have actually something very exciting going on this
What are you
weekend.
doing?
Tomorrow, nothing. I have to just kind of like lay low tomorrow because Sunday morning I'm getting on a plane, 7 o'clock, and flying up to Baltimore. I get in at like 9:30 with me and like five of my friends, and we're getting the train and going to Camden Yards, and we'll start tailgating. Or just go. There's like bars all around that place that open up at like 10
Yeah,
o'clock in the
yeah.
morning. And we'll drink there. Then we'll go to the Baltimore Orioles, Anaheim Angels, or are they Los Angeles? No, Anaheim Angels baseball game. Then at 9:30, we catch a flight back to Florida.
Why? Why? Why?
Because the round trip ticket was $93.
Really? So you just decided to do it?
I was like, let's do it. Like, I have a bunch of friends who are big baseball fans, and I mean, I love Camden Yards, and it was so cheap. I was like, yeah, let's just do
That's
this.
funny.
I know, man. I'm really
That's
pumped.
pretty cool. So what? This is Sunday?
Yeah,
That's
Sunday.
crazy.
So tomorrow I got to lay low. What about you?
Well, a big exciting weekend I have coming up of helping my dad recuperate from knee surgery.
Oh yeah.
No, but it's funny because Natalie is in Utah right now. She's out there in Salt Lake City for. Have you heard about this Mitt Romney Evander Holyfield fight that's going on?
No, you texted it to me, and I didn't. I thought it was like a typo or
Yeah,
something.
no, I actually just got distracted because Natalie sent me a picture of her and Mario Lopez ringside.
What?
Yeah, she looks like she's having a real bad time there.
She's hanging out with
Here, I'll
Slater.
forward it to you. Here, let me text it to you right now.
Oh my
Here.
God, that's not
Here it
fair.
comes,
Can she ask him to do the AC Slater dance?
rip off his suit.
Yeah.
Wearing a singlet
No.
underneath.
You know he has it on under there.
Did you get my thing?
Oh, I have to take it off airplane mode.
Yeah, I just texted it. But
I do that for the podcast, not to cross the Rhines.
there you go.
There you go.
So anyway,
You know.
there you go. There you go. So she's there for she's there for work because AMCO's charity, it's charity vision. I guess Evander Holyfield's a spokesperson. Who the hell knows? But anyway, there is a big charity fight that they're trying to raise money for this charity, and Mitt Romney is going to be boxing Evander Holyfield. This is happening right now, I guess. But there's other fights going on too, either like real boxing matches, I think, but this is like the main event. So she's got to be there all weekend. And, it's like a lot of work. I mean, she's got a meeting tomorrow at 7 in the morning. So she was like dreading going, but she texted me a picture of her, Mario Lopez, and I was like, oh, looks like you're having a real bad time. So I was funny because I'm upstairs tending to Ben because he's sick. My dad's like hobbling around, so I had to like help him up off the couch. And I said to my mom, like, Dad, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm hanging out with Mario Lopez in Utah next to a $40 million boxing event. What are you doing, Scott?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm tending to my sick kid and helping my disabled father up the stairs. Good Friday night.
God. Wild Friday night.
But, yeah.
So your dad needed knee replacement surgery because the cartilage was gone?
Yes, cartilage is gone on both knees, but one knee at a time. And he originally wanted to do both knees, just get it over with. And doctor's like, trust me, you don't want to do both knees. And he knows why now. And like, I hope this doesn't deter him from wanting to get the other knee done, because I mean, it looks pretty painful. I mean, his legs all swollen. He could barely walk because.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's major surgery.
Major surgery. Yeah. So
he should be not walking at all, I would
Well,
think.
they want you to. You got to keep moving it so it doesn't like stiffen up and stuff. Like you got to keep like working the joint and
keep it loose.
Yeah. So
warm,
loose and warm. So yeah, that's my Friday night. But see, the thing is, it's good because I'm here in Jersey. It's a distraction from my house because we're trying to sell it. And have you painted before? Do you ever paint like a room or a ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so we painted our entire house when we bought the house like 6 years ago. And it looks really good, and the ceiling is good. Yeah. But for some reason, the stain appeared on the ceiling. I think like water had gotten into it somehow, and it just like happened once. But the last thing I want is a water stain on the ceiling. So I was like, well, let me buy this like this Kills stuff. You know what Kills is? It's like a primer that's supposed to like cover up.
Oh yeah, and then you paint on
that. So I was like, let me paint. And the Kills obviously didn't match the paint, so it was like you could see the difference. So I went out in the garage and I was uncovering old paint cans because I was trying to touch up things, and I found a white paint can. I was like, all right, well, this has got to be the ceiling paint. What else could this be? So I took it to Lowe's. Took it to Lowe's. Meanwhile, it was in the back of my trunk in my car, and the lid wasn't on properly, so the thing tipped over and paint got all over my trunk, all over my gym bag. So that was one thing. Narrowly missed.
Are you fucking all over your gym bag?
All over my gym bag. All over. Narrowly missed the shoes that were in there, because I always have shoes in my trunk. Like I have sneakers. Just keep shoes. Luckily, it missed the shoes. But so I get to Lowe's, right, and I ask the chick, I'm like, "Can you reshake this?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So she hammers down the lid and she puts it in the shaking machine, right? And it's making a funny noise. So I'm like, that thing sounds weird. So she opens it up and there's paint everywhere. And I was like, like the lid had like kind of like propped open again, and paint was flying out of the can in the shaker. And so I apologized. She's like, I felt bad for her because she's like, oh, I only have an hour left of my shift. I guess I'll just clean up. And I was like, I'm really sorry. She's like, no, don't worry. It's a paint shaker. It's supposed to get paint on it. And I was like, all right, well, see ya. So I grabbed my paint can. I ran out. Right. So I get back to the house and I start painting. And
does your car smell like paint?
It was in the trunk. Well, I took it was, the piece of, I don't know what it is, material that covers the spare tire. You can remove it.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
it's like I removed that and I just hosed it down. It's still there, but So I take it back to the house and I put it on the ceiling, and sure enough, it's not the right color. So now I have two different whites on the ceiling. So I go out and get it. Well, actually, my realtor comes by and he's like, "Oh, I have ceiling paint. I just painted my ceiling. I'll drop it off." So he drops it off. I paint the ceiling with that. Still not the right color. So now I have like this huge cloud, and I refuse to paint the entire ceiling. I will hire someone and pay them before I actually paint the entire living room and kitchen and hallway ceiling, because I've got to match it all. What would you do? Would you paint
Oh
it
my
yourself, or would you just
God.
hire someone for like a couple $100 to have them do it and be done with it?
No, I would do it myself. But yeah, you're never gonna get it to match. The paint on there is 7 years
I know.
old. You're not gonna just slap up new paint and it's gonna just be like,
I just don't want.
especially now with all the layers.
Yes, exactly. It looks horrible.
Yeah, you gotta just paint that whole thing.
Well, I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I'll just let it go and see if anybody says anything. Like if that's going to be the make it or break it for someone buying the house, then screw it. I'll paint it, you know. But I don't know. What?
Why don't you just paint that room?
Well, because it's attached to everything. Like it's the living room is like attached to the kitchen. You know, there's no like real dividers. It's like one big ceiling because it's a townhouse.
No, oh,
So,
okay, I hear
like,
you.
it would look awkward if I just painted that room, you know. So I'd have to go into the kitchen and then into the hallway, and
Oh, and like draw a line on the ceiling, and I'm sure that would
it would
not
look dumb.
be
No,
symmetrical.
yeah, it would look horrible. And like, it's like trying to do it with Ben there. I almost rather price up a painter and see if they could do it for like $150 or something. I don't even know, but
Uh,
whatever.
I'd do it for 120.
All right, let me fly you up. I have to pay for the plane
Yeah,
ticket.
yeah. Well, yeah, you got to do that. I'm not gonna buy a ticket.
I sit there and stare at it. You know, I sit there and stare at the thing all day, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
Oh, fuck. Oh man. Yeah, you got to just paint it all.
Yeah, a nice picture.
What color is it? Just
Yeah,
white.
it's just a ceiling paint, but it doesn't match the other ceiling paint. So
You just gotta spend a day and just do it. Listen to every brilliant show.
yeah, that'll motivate me.
It's probably
Crappy podcasts, painting a crappy ceiling.
Hey, you know what? And not to go back to The Secret, but the only reason it would be crappy is because you're saying it's crappy.
Thanks, John. You motivational
You,
speaker.
you made it crappy. I'm the unmotivational
The
speaker.
demotivational speaker.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that turns out. So when's your flight on Sunday?
It's like 7 in the morning. I asked my buddy, and I thought it was so funny because I thought of the podcast, the one episode. I go, hey man, look, we're both going to be on the same flight, and you live like 20 minutes closer to the airport, so maybe Saturday we could have a sleepover. and he goes, oh yeah, totally. Actually, that's probably a good idea. Why don't you just do that? I was like, I was just joking, but I mean that would be easier. Sleepover. You want to have a sleepover?
Sleepover. I remember my buddy when I was growing up. I had a friend like when I was in middle school, and his dad refused to let either of us sleep over each other's house. Like he hated them, and like we were like in like sixth grade, so it was like cool, you know. But
Who was he?
my friend Eric, like his dad just refused to
Yeah.
let. He thought it was just like guys don't have, boys don't have sleepovers. But I mean, like basically, it was just an excuse for us to sneak out in the middle of the night and like,
Yeah.
go meet up with girls or something. But I mean,
Yes.
he didn't understand that's what we were doing. So,
French them in the suburbs in like the middle of the
oh,
street.
dude, there's some excellent times when I was a kid.
Yes.
I mean, it was like innocent when you think about it, like compared to like.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, we would just sneak out and we meet them. Like my one buddy had a tree fort, and like we would like go and hang out in the tree fort, like with these.
Oh.
And like, yeah, it was cool.
I never had or had a friend with the tree fort. I was always so disappointed by that. I think that's like the one thing that I didn't have. Growing up, like, look at us, two white kids from the suburbs.
Talking about tree
We
fort.
pretty much had everything, but I didn't have a tree
Yeah,
fort.
it scarred you for life.
Yeah, I know. I'll never get over it. I'll probably kill myself. Hey, who's
Kurt
Corey
Cobain.
Hill? Yep.
Corey Hill, the fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a MMA fighter. Why
Is he dead?
did he die? I don't know.
His wife keeps saying he's not dead.
Where?
I don't know, it's like all over the news.
Really?
Well, it was on ESPN. Let me get back
He used to
there.
bark. I remember he was on one of the Ultimate Fighter reality shows, and he would bark like a dog. He was one of remember we were talking about Anderson Silva breaking his leg in the cage?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
the only other fighter, at least that I've seen, that broke his leg in the cage and was more brutal than Anderson Silva because he's like 6'7"
Yeah.
and he like fights at like 145. Like he looks like Manute Bol. He looks like a stick, and he
Oh.
threw a kick and his leg just snapped in half and he came down on like the stub of his bone, like, and his leg just dangled out from
Oh
under him.
no. Ooh,
Uh,
ooh, ooh.
Dude, it was
Give me the
so
willies.
nasty. So I wouldn't be surprised if he is dead. He was a weirdo.
He's dead.
He is dead?
Confirmed dead today.
Uh-uh.
Devastating illness.
Really? Probably from cutting too much weight.
Fungal pneumonia.
Probably picked that up on the
Gross.
mat. Corey
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, spores
confirmed.
everywhere. Invisible spores.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yo, you want to see a really bad broken leg? YouTube or what is it? Sid Vicious.
From the Sex Pistols?
No, the wrestler.
His name was Sid Vicious?
Just say Sid breaks his leg.
It couldn't have been Sid Vicious.
He was Sid Vicious, then he was Justice, then he was Psycho Sid, then he was just
I
Sid.
don't know if I want
I
to see
think he
that.
was just Sid. Sid broken leg. There it is. Oh, you gotta watch it. It's pretty gnarly.
Oh, well, I think I'll pass for now. Thanks, though.
It's totally gnarly. And he's with Scott Steiner, your boy, Big Papa Pump. He jumps off the turnbuckle and just lands, and his leg just
That's
folds.
horrible. That's horrible. Why would I want to see that? Oh, thanks.
You showed me the guy who got his eye sliced by a
Oh,
toenail.
God. Thanks for
a toenail that had like herpes.
yeah. Thanks
or
for
something.
revisiting that, John.
Yeah, well, it's your fault. It wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for you. And your weird, Muay Thai
Yeah.
stories that I know nothing about.
Well, now you know. Now you know how you can get your eyes sliced open. So don't be catching guys with daggers for toenails.
Oh, no
Oh,
way.
dude,
I
why'd you-
will only fight guys with shoes. Guys in shoes, the only ones I'll pick fights with now.
You better
Yo,
watch
this
out.
is definitely the latest that I've ever done a
I know.
podcast. This is pretty exciting. I feel like we're in like
And
college.
you know how lame I am? It does feel like we're in college, doesn't it? Just having two
Yeah.
bros having a conversation at 12:30 in
Yeah.
the morning.
Naked.
Yeah, I'm pretty naked. I just have a sock on my wiener.
Yeah. I have a jock strap on. No
Nice. What are you, Marilyn Manson? No cup. Something's got to hold the boys in, right?
What were you gonna say?
I said, you know how lame I am. I have
Oh, yeah.
the Oprah Winfrey interview on David Letterman on pause right now because I'm going to watch it when we're done.
Oh, that's okay.
It's horrible. And Natalie's uploading pictures of her and AC Slater.
So
You think she's
cool.
hooking up with him right now? I'd
Oh,
probably allow that. I'd probably
gay.
think that's okay if she hooked up with AC Slater.
Oh wait, isn't he married?
I think he is. Yeah.
Yo, how much is he worth, man? He is on TV like Ryan Seacrest, like all the
Yeah,
time.
he is like the new Seacrest.
He's never not on TV. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
he's on like 12 different shows.
Yeah, popular
Yes.
shows. AC Slater.
Yeah, I
Good
feel
for
like
him.
if you make it in a little bit of show business, as long as you don't completely ruin your life, you can actually like get passed around to different opportunities. Like
Yeah, as long as you like keep it together, you stay healthy, you stay sharp. Yeah, you can go anywhere.
yeah, you just got to keep on, and it's like for instance,
And you got to be really good looking.
exactly. Well, I was watching the show on. I got hooked on it. Okay, you asked me if I watch TV, but I was watching. Oh God, it's hosted by LL Cool J, where two like celebrities come on and they lip sync.
Oh yeah, like the singing.
It's called like
bee
Lip
or
Sync
something
Battle
like
or
that.
something stupid.
Oh
But
yeah,
his co-host is that Tegan the what the God what's the guy's Tegan
Tegan,
Charlton, the guy.
Steven,
God, what's his name? Dude,
Steven.
killing me. Oh my God, it's too late. I can't think. Who's the guy? John Legend's wife.
Hold on. John Legend's wife.
Chrissy Teigen. She's
Chrissy
hot,
Teigen.
but
Hi.
she's so dumb, and like she's the co-host, and she tries to
Ah,
be funny, and it's like it's
oh
horrible.
no.
I'm like, why? What? Why? Like, uh, come on.
Oh, gee.
There's a million other more talented people that like, could actually like insert funny quips to LL Cool J's not funny personality. That
Lip
lip
sync
sync battle.
battle.
Yeah, isn't that what I said? It's
Well, LL's got to be like neutral. He can't like say anything that funny. He's like the host. But it's on Spike TV, so you would think you'd be able to get away with a little
I mean,
more.
it's a dumb show, but
What? So you got
I was
addicted to
watching
it though?
Yeah.
Dumb
I
show.
watched
I
like
hate
six
it.
episodes in a row. Well, they
Uh,
had some pretty good guests. They had some pretty good like singers on there.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
was pretty
right.
funny.
It's like besides those two idiots, it was
Well,
actually a good
they
idea.
had John Legend on there, and she like totally bashed him. And like I guess she was trying to make it cute because it's his wife, but she was like totally making
Oh.
fun of him, And I'm like, all right, it got to the point where it was like making me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yes,
like awkward. Like okay, like he pays for literally everything that you
exactly,
have.
exactly. That's what she said at the end. She
Like
said, I can't badmouth him too much because he's paying for. She made like a joke of like similar to what you just said. So
he bought
yeah.
this purse.
Oh man. Well,
Bitch.
I better get to my Oprah interview.
Oh yeah, yeah. Get to Oprah.
So let's do a
MD.
night next week. You better have a story from your one day trip to Baltimore.
Oh, I'm sure I will. The mission will be that I don't repeat what I did in Cabo and black out and like
Well, you
forget
can't do that because you got to
everything.
get on
I
a plane that night,
need
don't
to
you?
stay. Dude, I function fine. I'm telling you, dude, this is what Penn State did. It like gave me a superpower. I black out, but I like behave. I get everything done. But I don't want to like not remember the fun time
Yeah.
that I had. That's
Yeah.
the worst part.
Well, maybe take it to the limit, but just don't go over the limit.
I just got to focus on eating.
Yeah, probably. That would help. You could take it to the limit one more time. Well, that was a brilliant show. Even though it smells funky, it's still kind of fresh.
Like tuna, one more
One more
time.
time.